Hola, memeticos. This is going to be a layback review of these two figures. Since I start showing pictures of them on my Facebook page, you start asking things such as where do you buy them? And what is the scale of this figure? Can you compare these figures with others? So I'll try to do that for you guys, as well as showing you some of the basics of them. I already opened them. I've been, posing them and playing with them. And I have some thoughts about them. I can tell you from the get-go that these are certainly more figures than action figures. But I want you guys to be very informed in regards to what you would be getting to if you buy them. The first thing I want you to know, guys, is I buy these figures in Mattel Creations. There was a pre-sale, an early pre-sale back in January 28th, on which you have to subscribe to their distribution list on mattelcreations.com, and they would send you a link for you to connect there, and there you would be able to order all of them. It was not, if you would try to go to Mattel Creations without that invite, you wouldn't be able to find them. So as I said, this was sort of a test by them to see if there was interest. And in fact, it was open for, I think, I'm not sure, but it was open for at least a week, maybe a couple of weeks. So that's where I got them from. Since then, as far as I understand, they haven't been yet another pre-sale. Supposedly, this, at least Mira, has been seen in Amazon, but I don't know if there was ever inventory. It seems like it was just a link, but you were not able to buy them. So I think they're going to be available soon enough in Amazon. And Amazon, I mean, in regards to just as I was getting Mira the other day, they became available in Big Bad Toy Store, but of course, as expected, at least the Demon Hunters, they just sold out quite fast. The last time I connected, you were able to see just the Saya Boys. I myself, when they were in Mattel Creations, I bought all the four girls, the Saya Boys. The only thing I didn't buy was the 2-pack on which you have Rumi with the demonic tattoos, the demonic marks on her body, and together with Ginu in the last attire, the last costume that he has, on which he's in a demonic form as well. That was the only one I didn't buy. These ones, I paid for them $18.72. I think it was including tax. Plus the shipping, which was $8 for the whole set. I paid that because I found a coupon that for an influencer. I don't remember which influencer it was, but I was able to get a coupon that gave me a discount. I think originally they were like $20, but I was able to get a little bit less, to get them a little bit less because of that coupon. So without any more talking about, we're going to check them both. I'm going to check them as they arrive to me. First, I got Mira, so we're going to be looking at her, and I'm going to be telling you my impressions of it. I've been manipulating her more, precisely because she was arrived first. So I have things to say about her for sure. So let's take a look. All right, we need more light here, so let's fix that. Okay. I think this is gonna make it more clear for you guys to see. Right, the first thing you can see here is that this figure certainly is, we can put this, as background. In fact, you can see the back of the box. If you want to see, we can see the box first. The box is in the front. You see the window on which you can see how it looks like, and the character, but you don't see the figure. You see part of the original art, 4 years and older. The side, in the back, you can see Other characters, and funny enough, you don't see the 4K Pop Demon Hunters. You see a couple of the Saja Boys, the other two Huntrix, and in here you see these are pictures. In fact, there are more renders than pictures, but they supposed to be pictures of the actual figure with the different accessories that it has. On top, just the name. On the bottom, you can see the barcode, and I'm leaving this purposely there in case that helps you find them. All right, so I'm going to leave it there. Now let's see what this figure is about. Okay, so first of all, in regards to looks, I think they fairly capture the way the characters look in the movie. I am not going to say in any way or fashion that this is, oh yeah, this is equivalent to the Hot Toys that they are being releasing, or even the special edition of Marvel, of Mattel creations that were released some months ago. It's just regular, precisely as expected, $20 figure, and precisely is what you're getting. What is particularly, I'm going to go first with the positive, and then I'm going to tell you some of the things I didn't like about it. So the first thing we can see here is that is nice about it, and maybe I'm going to put some more light so you're able to see her better, is the face. The face is certainly, if you see the sculpt, the face is fairly good. I can say that it captured the essence of the animation fairly well. And as well as I said, the proportions, the body, you can see that it resembles for sure the characters as seen in the movie, right? In regard to another positive thing that they have is in regards to the paint applications. Without being nothing outstanding or something like that, it is very good. And they did little details that typically some other brands, I'm talking to you, Marvel Legends, they don't do, like this little chain here. I don't know if you're able to see it there. It's painted all the way through, right? In the front and in the back. That sometimes that doesn't happen. And it has like a little short underneath, you might say. That one is the color of the material that they are made of. And as you can see, mostly is little applications here and there to make the figure more appealing, right? But for the most part, the figure, it has the colors of the material that is made of, or the different plastics and the different areas. The part of this figure in particular that I like the least in regards to paint application is the blouse. What is in here is not terrible, don't take me wrong, but I think they could have done a little bit of a better job with the letters. But other than that, I think it's fairly good. That I liked about her. Now, the accessories, that's another cool thing. Not all of them are as good as the others, as we will see when we see those details in a minute, but they are fairly good. My favorite of both, well, part of this character, but of both characters, are the weapons. And mostly because they have this iridescence, this iridescent color that makes it look, depending on how the light hits it, you can either see a purple color or you can see a blue, and that gives it a cool, cool look. And the golden it looks great. I hope that this kind of color would be used on another even more expensive figures, on which a gold was required, and instead they use weird yellows or oranges. In this case, the golden is great. I love the golden that they use for this figure. So as I said, the weapons are the thing I found that they did better. I can go to, now that we are talking about that, we can go to the other accessories and we're going to try some of them. As I said, this is going to be a laid-back presentation or review of these figures, so I'm not going to go into, you know, a lot of detail, but I want you guys to see what you're getting. This is the vase, and this is going to be very important, as we will see later. We have these for the tea, as you can see, a pot, right? We have the two faces, the face for her to be eating, and another one, which is the one that I found the least appealing, this one. Arguably, I've seen the movie a couple of times. I think there is a moment in the movie in which there is a face similar to this one. Nonetheless, I think they could have selected a better expression than this one. But I mean, it's not terrible, but it's the one I like the least for this figure. We have the ramen, which has a it is a label or you know, sticker, but you know, it makes it look nice, and the ramen is set in such a way that when you use this hand, you can put it there, so it's able to hold it like that. So you see, so maybe I can put it closer so you can take a look at that. Ugh. Come on, focus. Focus. I think it doesn't want to focus. Maybe I shouldn't go as close. Let's see if we're able to make it focus. Maybe it has to do with the light that I'm using. It's not. Oh, as I was trying to make this video, it was focusing great, but right now it's not for whatever reason. So I'll try to. Okay, there you can see it there. I'm just going to make sure that there is more light there so you're able to see it. So there is a hand. Here's the ramen, and you just put it there for the purpose of them seeing being able to hold the ramen like that, right? Okay. And finally, the other hand with the chopsticks. And that's it. Now, as you can see, it looks good. It looks good. You can say that it has the quality of. I would have to go back to Marvel Legends or stuff like that, and you might arguably say, "Hey, it looks better than some of them." But unfortunately, from my point of view, that's where the action figure side of things ends. And then we start with the problems that this figure has. So this is what I mean. Let's step one or chapter one of the problems here. The first thing is this figure is unable to stand on its own. I assume that there might be a position in which you're barely going to make it stand, but for the most part, this figure is unable to stand on its own. And one of the biggest culprit for that, besides the fact of the design of the shoes and the size of the feet and how long it is, it has to do with its knees. Let me show you. I'm going to hold it from one of the legs. This one is slightly better, and still you see how it barely goes back. But look at this other knee. You see that? He's not able to hold a pose because the knees are so loose. And that's a terrible thing, as you will see as I keep talking about this. It is a must for you to use the vase that it comes with the figure. There is 2 holes on the feet, and you have here 2 pins on the vase, so you put them there, and you're able to put it like that, right? But the problem being, okay, that was too close, maybe there, right? The problem is that if you do that, you are starting limiting its capacity of being an action figure, because now you depend on that. If you separate one of the feet and you try to put another pose to it, you're really going to be fighting against, as I said, the knees, because he's not going to be able to hold the position. You might say, hey, Carlos, you might not be able to be very good at moving poses and everything else. Sure, you can argue that. You can argue that if you are able to find certain poses that is going to be able to hold if you work with it, sure, whatever. And yet, eventually, this is what's going to happen. Now, to make things even worse, I left this figure overnight, not even in an action pose, in a vanilla pose like this, just like that, with accessories on it, and I found it laying down because at some point during the night, the knees failed, it went down, and it fell on its own weight. So that is certainly a letdown. Now, I'm not saying that it's unmanageable, that you are not able to find a way to work around it. But now, as I said, the action part of your action figure is going to be limited. That's one thing. Another thing. The hair, you might say, oh, look, is articulated, right? It has articulation. Not really. If you take a look at it, you will notice that, in fact, it's just a single piece that is just being holding by a very thin part, and I'm not even want to stretch it because it is likely that it's going to break on me. You see there, you see how both of them are not in the same angle, and one of them looks, there's a little bit of white already there. Likely, if I pull it hard enough, I'm going to break it rather easily. So if you got this figure, you have to be very, very careful with the hair, because it's likely that if you do the wrong movement with this, you are going to break it, and you're going to find the problem to have to fix it. Because as I said, this is not articulated, it's more than it's just hanging out there by a very thin piece of plastic. That is, this plastic is more solid. It's more of a solid plastic. So the fact that they left those there is not doing anybody any favor. So that is to be considered. Now, with that in mind, I'm going to continue this with the articulations that you have here, which is also a situation that we have. You are able to do in both sides of pretty much 90 degrees right there. But only with one of the hands you're able to do the full rotation, because with the other one, this piece is in place here, is glued here, so you're not able to go beyond certain point. You have a single joint in the in your elbow, and you don't have rotation in the bicep, but you have rotation down here, so you can do this, which is useful, but is not going to be as great as if you would have a rotation on the bicep. Now it depends on you, right? It depends on you. You can do this if you stretch both of those and you try to get them together. That's as far as you're gonna go. More a Barbie than an action figure, if you ask me, in that position. You cannot get them closer than that. In regards to the hands can in fact have movement like that, and you can rotate them, and that's pretty much the only movement that you're going to have with both hands. The hands look fine. I mean, don't take me wrong, as I was showing. There is even very small details here that I think they could have just not do them, but they actually went for it, which is great. But that does not justify the type of articulation that they put in there. Now, when you come to the torso, let's look how good of a torso we have here. That's going back, and that's going front. Again, back, front. We don't have pretty much any range there whatsoever. Side to side, we have some, very few, but I think it's more the material just being flexible or gummy even than actually this being by design. So be careful with that, because I suspect that you might break them too. In regards to rotation, you do have full rotation. That's something that you have, but that's it. And then the bad news keep coming, because if the legs, there is a situation where there's situations there. If we want to take the legs up front, that's as far as we go. You can, if you want to, try to force it, because the skirt is not, it should be, from a standpoint, two things should be happening here. One, the plastic here should be a softer plastic, more malleable. And number two, we should have maybe a line here, an open line, so it would be easy for them to stretch the leg. I mean, you can try to customize it and open it here at your own risk. I don't know how good is that gonna go. But as it currently stands, basically your leg is super limited. It goes as far as that. When you go back, same thing. It doesn't go back too much. And as I mentioned before, the worst part of the whole figure, the legs. The legs, the proportions are weird. I can tell you this. It has the knee is a double knee, as you can see. The proportions are weird because the lower part of the leg is too long. But I think that on its defense, that's pretty much the way it's supposed to be because of the animation. These characters were designed like that. They weren't supposed to be anatomically correct. The legs certainly were longer than the body would be. As you can see, if we take a measurement from the torso, all the way down to the legs, and then we compare to the upper side of the body, we see that the legs are just too long. But as I said, that's per design. But as you can see, the fact that good thing that they have knees, that they're double jointed, but too bad that those knees are pretty much worthless. Under here we have also very poor articulation. We just have that down, then that up, but we're not able to go side to side whatsoever. That's as far as we go. In regards to rotation of the knee, we do have that. We can fully rotate those knees. That can help for sure if you want to make certain action poses. But again, consider two things. Number one, again, for the most part, it cannot stand on its own. And number two, those knees are going to betray you at some point. Now, in regards to the faces, if you push them all the way in, you're able to make them look good. You might see a slight separation there that you see there that you might fight against, but there's always going to be a slight separation, which is not really a problem. There's more than one side than the other. But if you, that's another thing I forgot to show you. The head, pretty much your movement is going to be side to side. You are not able to go up front or back at all. And if you keep moving it, it's not that they're going to fall just by looking at them, but they are not held as tight as they should. So you might lose the face if you are manipulating the action figure. Now, if you want to change the face, all you have to do is you have to pull it. And as you can see, we have part of the hair here and the face, right? So we can put another one here. Let's say that we want to use the eating one. And there you go. Now all you have to do is to put the hair. And it looks, I mean, it doesn't look bad. It looks good. It's a cute figure. But again, with all the limitations that I just told you about. We can certainly change the hands. So he's eating. Let's do that. And I think it's a good thing for you to see how am I doing it in camera, so you see how easy it is, but at the same time the limitations that we have. So as I explained before, I'm just going to use the thumb to hold the ramen like that. The grip is not very strong, but is good enough if you find how to put it. Now, you would say, okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make it sit somehow, which in itself is quite impossible for this figure to sit. It does, the skirt is not allowing it to do it, but okay, I'm going to leave it standing. So at least we can have the figure. Let's say I want to have the figure in my shelf like that, eating, right? Now, another situation is the other way around. So the feet are in a better position. Now, and another situation that you're going to find there is that, and for that, let me close into her face. If you want to bring her the ramen close to her face, it's not going to be as easy to do. You have to use a combination of the limited elbow. That is, as I said, it's not a double elbow, it's a single jointed elbow, part of the hand, so it looks like that. And then you're going to bring the other one to hold the chopsticks, right? And with the same type of awkward setting. So if I do that, I'm going to be able to sort of kind of mimic or replicate the position that they have in the movie as they were eating ramen, but I'm not able to bring the hands close enough for that to be fully recreated. As you can see, that pretty much is as far as I can go. From the front, it looks fine. I mean, it looks fine, but as you can see from the side, it's never going to be as close as you want it to be to simulate that in fact is eating, right? So, I mean, as again, it's not terrible. You can work around it, but it's quite disappointing for the figure not to be able to replicate one of the most iconic poses that it has in the movie. The other thing you can do, and I'm going to just to show you some of the other accessories. I'm going to use the weapon. I think, how was the weapon called? Gok On or something? It was something the line of the sword of the moon, some of the half moon or something like that. This is, as far as I understand, a classic or a real life weapon used by people in Korea. I think that was a great detail that they put in the movie. The fact that they use weapons that were, or at least, of course, based on real weapons. Well, we need to change that face, because that eating face I don't think is the best face to use. We want to fight against demons. So we're going to, one thing I recommend you to do, guys, is to remove the hair first. So the grip of the faces is better and the figure looks better. The holding of the faces, as I said, is not terrible, but it could have been a little bit better for sure. This face, in fact, it has a better grip than the standard one, funny enough. And that's how it looks like with its weapon. Again, yes, you can say, hey, you are not very good at making heroic poses or whatever. Yes, sure, you can say that. But my problem being, as I said before, that as soon as I start relying on those knees to make heroic poses, I'm just going to find myself in trouble. You can, as I said, make it work somehow, in a way, but it's going to be certainly challenging for you to achieve certain of the things that you want to do, precisely because of how awkward those knees are. An apology if I keep mentioning the knees, but the knees certainly do a disservice to this figure, as you can see. So that is how this figure looks like, and it is. I would say that if you want to have your figure in vanilla poses, you want to have a representation of the Demon Hunters, K-pop Demon Hunters in your collection. I would recommend to buy it, particularly because of the price. The price is not that high. But if you are planning on doing crazy poses and everything like that, it is not going to be on its own. You will have maybe to use some other, not included of course, different type of bases or any other type of holder for the figure, so you're able to do that. And even if you do that, at least this figure, the legs are pretty much useless. So that was unfortunately Mira. That is subpar in my personal view. Now, the good news is that Rumi is somehow better. It's from the same line, is suffering for many of the things that I just mentioned before, but Rumi certainly has some qualities to it. In fact, I'm seeing that this video is getting too long, so what I will do is I'm going to cut here with this review, and I'm going to do another one. It's going to be not as long maybe, because I'm going to rely that you watch this one first for Rumi, and in that way you are able to see Rumi on its own. One thing that I'm not going to let go, I'm not going to leave, I'm not going to stop the video until I show you something that all of you asked me to do, which is how does this look like with other lines of figures. Now, first I'm going to bring from Marvel Legends one recent figure, in fact, from a live action movie that was Deadpool 3 or Deadpool and Wolverine, but I'm not going to bring any of the main characters. I'm bringing my friend here, Blade. So we're just going to give him some pose for him to look at the side of her. This is not well. First, him standing, right? So you can see how tall Mira is compared to him. That's a thing. Sure, you can say, hey Carlos, but the Mira has the base and a Blade doesn't. So there is some extra. There is a difference there. Sure, I can take it out of there, so you can see how they look together. They look nice together. As you can see, Blade is slightly taller. I check at how tall she's supposed to be. There is some of sources are taking her all over the place. I think she's supposed to be 179 centimeters. So she's supposed to be, shorter than Blade for sure. I think that in regards to proportions, she is slightly taller than what she's supposed to be from a 6 scale, 6 scale as it is. But I think she's fine for the most part when you see with other characters. So there it is with Blade. We're going to bring now from that same movie, we're going to now bring a female figure, which is in this case X-23. As you can see, Mira is taller than X-23. X-23 is supposed to be a short character. She does not supposed to be a tall one. So I think that this also makes sense to have them both like that. And I think it sort of makes sense together with X-23. Now I'm going to bring from G.I. Joe a demonic figure. Sure, it is from the Dyer sub collection of G.I. Joe figures. You can certainly argue it's not really demonic. There is some technology involved. Whatever it is, I think these two figures look great together, as you can mix and match and make some alternative reality on which these are demons that the demon hunters are fighting against. So that's how they look together. Again, this demon, or again, regardless of the lore in G.I. Joe, This demon is about the same height as she is. And as I said, I think they look great. Now, talking about demons and demon hunters, finally to see what is supposed to be a different scale, which has been, there has been a little bit of talking about how is this really, is this 7 scale or 6-inch scale? If you ask me, it's 6-inch and not 7. We have the latest Todd McFarlane's Hellboy. And of course, I'm talking about the company that created this figure and not the creator of Hellboy himself, being Mike Mignola. This is another character, and that's another conversation for a different day. This is another character that has a lot of trouble standing on its own. And there's another figure that has a lot of trouble with the legs. The legs of this character are a joke. In that way, I can say that these two characters share more than their will or their like to hunt demons. Both these figures have useless legs for sure. In regards to standing, in regards to bending, in regards to anything, doing anything, these both figures share that problem. I think these two figures also look nice. If you can see them side by side, as I said, supposedly this Hellboy is a 7-inch scale figure, but considering how tall Hellboy is and considering how this Hellboy looks tiny compared to other 7-inch figures, I would say that this Hellboy fits better with 6-inch type of figures. So you can see that these two also have, certain thing to them. Sure, these figures that I just showed you are more quote-unquote realistic, with the exception of Hellboy, and in regards to proportions, in regards to sculpting, and yet I think, they are not. This figure, if you're going to mix this figure with your other 6-scale figures, you're going to be able to. Unfortunately, here right now I don't have an SH Figuarts, but for SH Figuarts standards, this is going to be slightly taller. Maybe for the Mira review, I might be able to bring a SH Figuarts for that. Now, as I was saying, one thing that I want to again make emphasis on. Come on, Hellboy, you are not able. You're not able to stand on your own. What's wrong with you? There you are. He's barely able to stand on his own. Mira, not so much. It is either this base or is nothing. There you are. Now, the thing that I wanted to stretch again was, let me put them more centered so you can see them better. And again, Hellboy having so much trouble standing on its own. There you are. You can see them in all their magnificence. And I can move aside the other accessories so you can see them better, right? Now, as I was saying before, this weapon by McFarlane, this sword, which in fact is supposed to be a version of Excalibur, at least, the Excalibur and Hellboy's universe, it's supposed to be a golden sword. If McFarlane would have used this amazing golden color from this K-pop Demon Hunter line, this sword would be amazing. Like this is really disappointing. The sculpting is fine, but the color is just a disservice to everything. It cheapens out the whole thing. I know that this is not a Hellboy review, but I'm stretching that just to let you know that this sword, this weapon is a great weapon. It is one of the best things that this figure has for sure. Right, guys, hopefully with that I was able to answer most of your questions. Feel free to send me any additional thing that you want me to talk about for the next reviews. If you like this, I will be doing Well, I'm going to be doing the review for Rumi for sure, but I don't have the rest of the K-pop Demon Hunter figures yet. If you like my format, if you like the way I'm talking about the figures, let me know, and I will be doing a part 3 of those reviews as soon as I get those figures. They arrived here. I don't have yet, as I said, time when that's going to happen, but as soon as it does, I will be doing that. Oh, come on, Hellboy. You cannot just, you need to stand down so we can say bye. So let's put Excalibur in his hand, him trying to be triumphant in its a beast form, how he's going to be the end of everything, and maybe in this alternative reality, in this crossover, it is the K-pop Demon Hunters, the one that are going to stop him from ending things, ending it all, right? So that would be quite a fun adventure. Regardless if it makes sense or not, that's fine. But you can, you can do with your figures whatever you want. So if you want to do those kinds of unexpected crossovers, you can certainly do. As I said, that is, from my point of view, that is certainly a great a couple of figures to have on your shelf. Anyway, guys, so that's all for me for today. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll be seeing you in the next one. Bye-bye.